The telephone rang several times. I was a bit reluctant to pick it up. When I reached there, my mom had already answered it. I watched her answering the phone. Suddenly, her face turned gloomy, and after she hung up the phone, she ran to the television and switched it off. A breaking news was forecasting on. The breaking news was about the tsunami alert. A severe earthquake had happened near the Java island, and because of it, a tsunami has arrived. As the meteorology department says, they say that the eastern shore of our country will be affected seriously. My mom and me was dumped, as we were living in the eastern shore. When the breaking news was over, my mom ran to the telephone and dialed the number. Within 1 minute, she was talking with my father. She told, yes, it was true. So now what we would be? We have to shift our home. We'll move to a countryside. She didn't speak with my father less than 10 minutes. After she kept the phone, she came to me. My dear, we have to shift our home. We have to shift the countryside of the hill country. So please run to the upstairs and bring all your needies. Within 10 minutes, I ran to the upstairs and took all the needies. I packed a suitcase and a trunk box. I took them all to the down. When I came, my mom also with 5 suitcases and 1 trunk box. After 5 minutes, we heard the noise of the horn of our father's vehicle. It was our father, it's a sure. Mom ran to the gate and opened it. Father took the car in. My mom packed all the things into the car in a hurry, and father took the car out. My mother and I locked all the doors and gates and came out. We got onto the car and started the journey. After 5 minutes, we were stuck in a big traffic. We couldn't see even a policeman. It was that much crowded. After 5 minutes, we heard the noise of screaming. It was severe. It prevailed for a few minutes, and after 2 or 3 minutes, a breaking news forecasting on the television of the car. It was about a flock of birds. As they told, this was the area that the birds were. Those birds are highly sensitive in sound, and they are blind. They cannot see anything. As they are highly sensitive in sound, they attempt to destroy the source of the sound. The single noise we make is like a large burst in a building for them. So they showed us few pictures of them animals too. Actually, they were not birds. They had big ears and they were in dark brown color. After a few minutes, the breaking news was over and I looked up sky. I could see a big flock of birds were roaming here up. When the breaking news was also over, the screaming of all the people in the crowd was over. I think they all would got the news. So, at the moment, all the birds came down. I think they could hear the noise. My mom, my father and I hid under the seats. After that, we couldn't hear anything. After 10 minutes, we came out. At the moment, all the birds had gone away. But more of the vehicles were damaged. Our vehicle also was damaged, but not much. Father told that only some faces of the car had broken, and he told that they would be easily mended, but not any change the engine. After a few minutes, we saw that few people came out, and bit by bit the people came out, but most of the vehicles were damaged almost all. After 5 minutes, few ambulances and the police came. In a minute, all the police took the vehicles and the people out, and they managed the road. Ambulance took the wounded people to the hospital. I and my parents was not wounded as we were under the seats. Again, we started our journey. During the journey, my father was silent. I think he was thinking about those furious animals. I asked him why he was thinking. He replied as I thought. He thought that he had known almost all things about the tsunami and the earthquake. That's why he called my mom before the breaking news. Actually, he was working in the meteorology department. But now he said that there must be a connection between those furious animals and the earthquake. When the time passes, we could reach our new home. Actually, it was in the middle of a beautiful village. The village was surrounded by mountains. I ran near the door and knocked it. Actually, it was locked, but when my mom came, she opened it. I was amazing. What a beautiful surrounding it was. A big garden, and also there was a big field opposite. My parents and I came into the house. Actually, it was bit small, but it was enough for our family. My parents took all the suitcases and the trunk boxes out. I also helped them. Within few minutes, my mom swept all the house and he started to make the things in a good manner. We unloaded the things away from the suitcases. She showed me a room. I went my room and tied up it. I unloaded the things in my suitcases away. There was a cupboard and I kept my books there. After a few minutes, all the things was beautiful and shiny. Within few minutes, my mom also had made a delicious dinner. Before it, we all took a shower because we was almost all tired. After we took the tired, we ate the dinner and came to our beds. My parents wished me a good night. Actually, we was very tired. That's why we came to the bed early. I could hear that father telling to the mom that he has to attend work tomorrow itself. He want to find the connection between those two. So, the night prevailed in a calm manner. Next day morning, I was bit early to wake up, but I stayed in my bed for a few minutes and I came out. At the moment also, my father had got ready. He took the breakfast in a quick and wished my mother and went to the car. He went out from it. Now my mother and I was only in the home. We spent a beautiful time. It was one day life. After one day, my father told to a mother by a telephone call he won't be able to come home for 2-3 days. We was much sad, but nothing to do. 2-3 days went away. When the day prevails, the things was about not much better. In a hurry, my parents had a beautiful time also. But in a sudden, my mom got a call. Actually, it was my father, but the number was not hers. He was talking with the other's phone actually. He has told my mother to switch on the breaking news. My mother ran to the television and switched it on. Actually, we was amazed. My father and 2 of his were in the TV. They were in the news. At the first time, we was thinking that they were talking about the tsunami. But bit by bit, they entered to the topic. Actually, they was talking about those furious animals. As my father thought, there was a connection between the birds and the earthquake. He was talking about the earthquake first. Due to the earthquake, those animals had came out, and as they had lived under the ground for years, they cannot see anything, and they are blind because they had lived in a severe dark. And also he thought that these animals cannot bear any cold. That's why they had come to our country, because our country was warm actually. But a lucky news also was after there. After 1 week, the winter season was coming on. My father told many things about those animals, and also he told that by anything they couldn't be destroyed, but only by the cold. That's why the winter became a good news. So after a few days, the winter began. Many of the people had changed their lifestyle. When the birds come to some area, the TV gives them breaking news, and they told about the location of the birds. So, however, after 2-3 days, the winter began, and bit by bit, all the birds came to die. We could see many birds was on the road, and also after 10 days, the meteorology department says that all the birds has died away. So after that, my father came to our house, and he told that no any threat from the tsunami to our eastern shore, and he told that he would be able to take us home. It was true. We went home. Actually, he had got the award too, because of finding those animals and destroying them. After a few days, my mother went home with us. We was very happy to go our home. Actually, there was no any disaster there. However, that day it was very tired and due to the traveling. And as they told, we unloaded the things, and again we came to our home. Actually, we was very happy. Again, we are in our beautiful home. So, however, the days went, and in one morning, I was in the bed, and I screamed, "Mama!" Actually, she didn't came, but I could hear some noises from the kitchen. I again screamed, "Mama!" but she didn't came. When I screamed, my mom came and shook me. Actually, then couldn't I was know that I was in a big dream. Though I had things all in my dream, actually it was a big entertainment for me. But now after I get up, I told all the things for my mom. Actually, she was smiling about the things that I had seen. So, actually, though it was a dream, we could take many things from it. Anyway, we should not harm our environment. That's the thing we could take from my story. Thank you all.